Hey guys, Trey Knight with the Department of Wellness and Recreation here. Going to be helping you guys learn a new skill or set of skills during our safer at home time and virtual and online learning time. Going to upload a bunch of videos about tying knots, really useful skills. If you're going to do camping things, or if you're moving, or if you need to rig something up around the house. People use ropes in all aspects of their life. It's a good thing to know how to tie knots in a bunch of different ways for a bunch of different purposes. It's also been one of those things that's recommended during this time that people learn some new skills. It's good workout for your brain. It's a good workout for your hand-eye coordination, your fine motor skills, your dexterity, your hands, working with ropes. So we're going to try and help you guys out with. Hopefully you'll check in each week as we upload more videos. I'm going to create a playlist on the Wellness and Recreation YouTube channel. The knots will increase week to week in difficulty and challenge. Today, not going to teach you guys anything specifically about knots. We'll go over some quick language, some fundamentals of knot tying, and then we'll be back with some knots on our next episode. So I've got a piece of cord. It's 7 millimeters, so you can see it is a little bit skinnier than my pinky finger. Something in between, like your shoelace and your pinky finger, will be really good for practicing this. Too skinny, and as we tie the rope and twist it, it gets kind of jammed up, and it can be hard to work with, hard to control. If it's too big, the knots just kind of wind up being really bulky. We'd rather have a piece of cord or a piece of rope that's too big than too small when we're learning, but something in the 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch range, 7 mil or so, is what we're looking for. Lengthwise, at least 1 arm length from your, kind of from your sternum out to your hand, preferably about 2 arm lengths. What I've got here might be a little long. When we get into some more complicated knots, a longer piece of cord is a little better, but for a lot of our beginner and intermediate knots, a slightly shorter piece of cord is going to work, something about 3 to 4 feet in length. A couple terms we'll use: dominant and non-dominant hand. Won't worry about right hand, left hand, anything like that. We don't want to try and get confused on here, so I'll talk non-dominant hand and dominant hand. Also, we're going to have a running in and a standing in to our rope. I'm always going to hold the running in my dominant hand, and when I move that around, we'll talk about why we're doing that and how we would do that. So I want to hold my running in my dominant hand for me. That's my right hand for you. It may be your right hand, maybe your left hand. And I'm going to hold the standing into the rope in my non-dominant hand for me. That's my left. That might be the end of the rope. It could be the middle of the rope. It could be a coil of the rope. Running in. A running in might also be a piece of the rope, or it could be the end of the rope. A couple other terms. We've got a way to form a bite in the rope, where we're going to fold it over itself 180 degrees. We want it close like this. We don't want our bites big and open. We want to form a bite, and we're going to do that nice and close, real parallel lines here, 180 degree turn. That bite, if it's in my dominant hand right here, is going to become the running into the rope, and I might use it to tie the knot or the hitch rather than the actual end of the rope. So we say form a bite in the rope, more or less going to hold it up, grab it in the middle, flop it over sideways. Squeeze it depending on how new or old or twisty your rope might be. We also might form a loop in the rope. That's where we take a bite and twist it. We might twist it like so, in our hands like this. We may take the rope and form a loop like so, where the rope is over itself. So we have 2 types of loops: our overhand loop and our underhand loop. Some of the knots we'll tie, we'll need to have some directional understanding about which way the loop is going. So when I do this, I take my dominant hand, put it over my non-dominant hand. That's an overhand loop. Under is the underhand loop. When I do that, I'm also twisting the rope a little bit. As you can see, if I were just to hold the rope here and twist, it's going to want to naturally head into that loop direction. Go this way for the overhand, and then kind of go the other way, underwards for the underhand. And that'll just help the rope twist and coil and want to be in that shape rather than just doing it like so and we're going to fight with the rope to put it into that shape. We can just twist the wrist, roll our fingers, and the rope's going to be a little bit more helpful in taking the shape we want it to. So that's our bite and our loops, underhand and overhand loops. Some other terminology: a knot that ties two ends of the rope together, whether it's the same rope or a different rope, is called a bend, a B-E-N-D. So we'll cover some knots that are bends that connect two ropes, either of the same or differing sizes, diameters. We'll also talk about dressing and setting our knots. If I get the knot, I want to make sure I dress it, and as I tighten it, it's going to stay in the right shape. And that's dressing it. And then when I set it, I want to slowly apply tension or force into the knot. And by doing that after it's dressed and in a controlled and non-jerky way, it's going to help the knot maintain its efficiency, so its overall strength of the rope's tensile strength, as well as be easier to untie when I want to get it out. So that's our quick intro for what we're doing, some terminology we'll use week to week. Check us out next week, and we'll cover the figure 8 knot and the figure 8 on a bite knot.